And this year, I'm pleased to announce that the award will be going to Laird Hunter.
Everyone, it is my privilege and honor to have a few minutes, Yvonne said a few minutes, to speak about the nomination of Laird for this award. And as Yvonne said, it really was a collaborative nomination. Many of us in the community have worked with Laird and have the privilege to just learn from him over the years. So it definitely was a collaborative effort. I thought maybe one of the best ways to really share a little bit about Laird with you was to just take a few of the comments from the letters that were sent to the CBA together with Laird's nomination, because I think it gives you an idea of the person he is and why the selection committee chose him. As a former executive in the Charities Director at Canada Revenue Agency, I've known and have had occasion to deal with Laird for many years over a number of cases and issues, and have been aware not only of his pro bono work in the field of charity law, but his extensive participation in consultations exercises where the purpose was to develop administrative policy as it relates to charities in the Income Tax Act. Laird has consistently shown an interest and a depth of knowledge of charity law and its intricacies that has been, in my own personal experience, seldom equaled in the Canadian context. Another nominator said, I have had the good fortune to work with Laird in various capacities over the past 15 years. His commitment both to legal excellence and to the community is unparalleled, and a great example for both his immediate colleagues and other lawyers. He has a wonderful temperament and a brilliant mind. Yet another, I'm privileged to know and work with Laird. He's not only knowledgeable and highly capable, but someone who conducts himself with integrity, and he has made an enormous contribution to the sector. And from someone, I'm not sure who's here, he might be watching, but he's a professor. In person, Laird is an affable and welcoming man. He disproves the negative stereotype of lawyers. This is one of Laird's wonderful attributes. He's going to kill me, by the way. I just want you guys to notice that my dear friend may never speak to me again. He does not draw attention to himself, but rather exhibits a most welcome dry wit and self-deprecating sense of humor. He is a charity lawyer who practices law charitably. I look up to him as a professional mentor. So, and finally, I've had the real privilege of being able to work with Laird and have him as a mentor in my practice. And it has been just a privilege working with him and participating alongside as he has made such a wonderful contribution to the law and to the charitable sector. It's really remarkable, and it's really wonderful that the selection committee decided to present him with the award this year.
I'm sure many of you have been in the same situation. This is an occasion where I wish my mom was here. She thought I was going to be an off-key piano player in a late-night bottle club, but she was always worried about me. I would like to thank the sponsors for the very kind and generous words they've given. I hope that this is an occasion where a good deed will not go punished. I'd also like to thank my former partners and my current partners. They rejected a motto that I suggested I put on my business card, practice restrictions to those who can't pay. It received one vote, but it wasn't mine. I'd also like to acknowledge what was implied in some of the remarks. I'd like to acknowledge Arthur Drake. When I first started practicing law, he and a handful of people took charity law from being something that was practiced on the side of your desk in complete ignorance of any law to a room today where there's a bright future for its practice in Canada. I'd also like to thank my clients, and you know from your own practice that little boy bouncing on the bed is compensation enough for many of the files that we never pay for. I'd also like to thank the CBA. When I was involved in setting it up, Jane came to me and said, what would you like to, position would you like on the executive? And I said to her, Jane, I would very much like to be past president. and she, in her lovely way, said, I'm sorry, that position's taken. I'm particularly pleased to be honored in the name of Jane. I've often thought over the years, both before her illness and since, why she so impressed me. She was quiet, she was lovely, she was kind. But as I think of all those things, what I most think about is how much I admired her. I admired her because in everything that she did, she exemplified the very kind words that have been attributed to me. I'd like to imagine, though, that the occasion that this represents, second only to Arthur, which is a profound privilege in itself, that Jane would come through the door right now and say, Laird, I've been thinking long and hard about it. I don't think we need to give the award this year. I learned something from the last Oscars, and that is now precedent. I think I can do that. But we've at long last been able to offer you a position on the executive. You're the past president. So I'd like to thank all of you, and I'd particularly like to thank Lois and Alex, and so I can finally announce to them that the plaintive cry that they've made to me over the years has to be answered. I'm sorry, I'm never going to have a real job. Thank you very much.